Hey there, it's Val. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, if you're watching this video, then you're most likely new here because this is a Booktube Newbie tag video. And of course, I'm creating this video so that you can get to know me a little bit more. I've been aiming to venture into this territory of Booktube for quite a while now, and I have been posting a little bit of YouTube videos already, some bullet journaling videos just to get the artsy creative ball rolling. And so I thought, what would be a better way to get started other than doing a Booktube Newbie tag video? So here we go, I'll be answering a few questions from the Booktube Newbie tag, and I hope you enjoy watching. The first question in the Booktube Newbie tag is, why did you start this channel? Because books. We love books here. I really love books, and I mean, it sounds like the most basic answer to this question, doesn't it? But I love reading. I read a lot, and I really do want to talk about books. Like whenever I finish reading a book, I get this inexplicable urge to talk about the book to anybody who is willing to lend me a listening ear, which obviously can get boring for a person if the person is not interested in books. So, solution. We talk about books to people who love books, and which is why I'm trying to build a small little bookish community here with people who share the same interests as me, and we can talk about books. And we will not just be talking about books, so my aim with this channel is to also share artsy stuff. I have been posting a lot of book journaling videos already from my bullet journal spreads, and the thing about my bullet journal spreads is that all of them are themed around a book or an author, so there's always this bookish connect you'll find in all my artistic content as well. I'm also planning on sharing videos with crafty DIYs which are themed around books, and I do a lot of fan art, so I'll be sharing the process videos of those with you as well. I want to share and make this a very creative space and inspire creativity in general. I'll also be talking about writing in the future. I exactly don't know what sort of content I'll be posting around it, but we'll see. I just have a lot of diverse interests, so my content will not stick to one niche, but I promise that it will be fun for all of you. The next question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? It's obvious, me. I'm the fun and unique thing. Just kidding. I mean, I am, but also I think the whole idea of blending books and creativity in general with all the artsy stuff is definitely something unique. I'm very much into the dark academia aesthetic in general, if you can't tell, so a lot of my content will be centered around that whole space of dark academia, literature, art, and creativity in general. So I feel like that might be a little bit of a unique spin to Booktube. So I'm incredibly picky with what I read, so that's one thing. You will get some very good recommendations from me. What are you most excited about this new channel? Books. That's also a very obvious question, but if we're going into detail, it's just the whole sharing creative things and building a community part that excites me a lot. So I'm really hoping to interact with a lot of you, and I'm excited about this. The next question is, why do you love reading? Books. We love books. Also, like, why won't you? Because books are so magical. I really cherish their ability to transport you to new worlds and making you experience the world from someone else's lens. That is like one of the most beautiful things about books. Also, books have the ability to breathe new life into you. There is just so much you can learn from them, even if it's just a piece of fiction. I feel like, because fiction in some way really corresponds to life, even if it's fantasy, which is actually the genre I read the most. But it's just the whole thing where you can relate with different characters who might share different lives and personalities than you, and you just get to experience life through someone else's lens. It's very beautiful to me. What book or series got you into reading? So, the answer to this question is the Harry Potter series. We do not like J.K. Rowling in this house. We do not condone any of her actions, and I despise her now that I know everything she stands for. But I can't deny the fact that when I was young, I read the Harry Potter series, and it really got me into the fantasy genre in general. It's not the best piece of fiction ever written, but it got me into reading, which answers the question. I was also a lot into Rick Riordan's works as a kid. He has done some questionable things too, but it got me into reading. And can't deny the fact that because I am into reading now, I have discovered a lot of good works by a lot of good authors. Next question, what challenges do you think about starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Consistency, probably. Like, I have a lot of ideas that I want to share with all of you, but I am a chronic procrastinator, and it is a fact I can't deny, so I might not end up being very productive and very consistent. I'm trying my best, I promise, but it's going to be a challenge for sure, and there's a challenge that I'm looking to overcome, to be honest, because I do love challenges and puzzles and things like that. So it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to get over it. It is a real bummer though when it comes to pleasing the algorithm, because consistency matters a lot. So fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be able to keep up with the constantly changing algorithm. When did you start reading? I've been reading for as long as I can remember, actually. This one is going to be a funny memory. One of the first books I started reading was like a very thick Oxford dictionary. And of course I did not understand any of it, but basically we had a big thick Oxford dictionary in my house, and I was so intrigued by books always that I ended up just flipping through random pages and just getting to know new words. And one of the first words I actually found in the dictionary was an aunt, but it had a big picture of an aunt next to it. It's very random, but I just liked reading anything I could lay my hands on at a young age. I also had a very thick encyclopedia in my home, which was not meant for somebody my age, but I just used to like flipping through random pages and reading about it. I got to read about a lot of random things, which I actually do remember. I remember reading about black holes, and there was a vivid illustration of astronauts being turned into long spaghetti as they're entering a black hole, and that used to scare me about space in general. There were also random things about Egyptian mythology and what else? I don't actually remember a lot of things from that, but it was a very thick family encyclopedia with a lot of different topics, which kind of got me into reading. Also, of course, like any kid my age, had a lot of fairy tale books and like just short stories for children, so I just really got into the whole storytelling thing, and also in non-fiction, because dictionaries and encyclopedias count as non-fiction. I just like to read anything I could get my hands on. I'm really glad that my love of books has also stayed all these years, because that means I get to explore so many new worlds from so many different lenses. Okay, the next question is, where do you read? Wherever I can find a book, really. I would read on my bed, on walks, in cafes. The place does not matter to me as long as I'm in the company of a good book, and because I've got Libby and Kindle on my phone, I can really end up reading anywhere. I also have a Kindle which I usually carry around, which you can actually see. This is my Kindle, and I don't carry it around with me all the time. Usually I just have my phone, but when I'm going to a cafe or a library, I would have that with me, and it just makes it really easy for me to catch up on my reading no matter where I am. Okay, next question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I read a lot of different genres. My main interest lies in YA fantasy, but I also read a lot of classics, historical fiction, murder mysteries, thrillers, poetry. Did I mention science fiction? I did not mention science fiction. So I just dabble in a variety of different genres. I occasionally also dabble in literary fiction and historical fiction. Did I mention historical fiction? I love history. I love reading about mythology and stuff. So yeah. I always like reading books with a lot of diverse representation, and graphic novels are definitely one of my favorite things to dabble in as well, because I just love seeing the combination of such pretty art by so many good illustrators. I love how, because a lot of the graphic novels are actually written by artists who are also authors, and it's just so beautiful to see people with so many different talents just bringing books to life with the beautiful art. So we will always love graphic novels for that, for like providing that sort of bridge between art and words. Also, this was not a question in the Booktube Newbie tag, but I thought I would just mention a few of my favorite authors. So My favourite fantasy author is Leigh Bardugo. I really love the whole variety of subgenres in fantasy she's been exploring. I love Ninth House, I love the Shadow and Bone series and the Six of Crows spin-offs. I also really like Brandon Sanderson's works. I love Jane Austen, Marissa Mayer, Edgar Allan Poe, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Holly Jackson. There are actually a lot more because I read a lot, but I just can't pinpoint all of them at the moment. And with that, this series of Booktube Newbie tag questions comes to an end. I hope you enjoyed watching. It was a little bit awkward, but that is part of my personality. You will see a lot of it if you decide to stick with me. And I'll hopefully see you soon. Have a lovely day. I also occasionally read I can't pronounce this word. Who else do I love? Jane Austen. Yes, Jane Austen. And Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. I'll just skip this genre at this point. I don't even read a lot of literary fiction.